A Bramble House Christmas, not to be confused with the Christmas Bramble House, which apparently this is another one. There's like 6 of these. I accidentally got the wrong one, audiobook-wise, and I'm sitting here going, oh, these characters don't sound anything like the one in this one. Oh, yeah, because it's not. Anyway, I don't know what it is recently, but I've had like a streak of, books that are these Christmas ones, except for like, they're all kind of boring. I mean, I don't know what I expected, because if you're going to have like a romance, I guess something is to happen. But more than that, in this one, it's just the beginning. It's kind of like, oh, you're a fucking stalker. And then it just kind of delves down into, you know what? If you just put this down, closed your eyes, took a quick nap, woke up, nothing would have changed. Like, truthfully, she's boring. Okay? It's not insulting or anything. Like, the Hallmark one, definitely, Willa is more, like, compassionate. She's more... And in this one, she really worries for her son. And Scout does act like a kid in this. But, again, there's really nothing that happens here. They come here, and then they stay here, Anyway, before I ramble on too much, because I wanted to leave more of my thoughts to the end, because the specific things that I'm talking about here, some of this stuff could have been taken out, and I see why Hallmark took it out in their movie. But then again, it's like, it's only in this book to connect them to the others in this series, because it's a Cardigans of the Circle C type of story. And I don't know if they also get made into Hallmark movies. Finn has three other sisters. In Hallmark one, it's only just Molly. But they have Colleen, Molly, and I forget the other one. Because one of them is a genetic researcher. So that's why she's here. I also don't know why they just chose Molly. I mean, because the other sister, she lives close by here, but she lives on a horse ranch. And again, I don't talk about either of them really in this review. So that's kind of why I'm pushing it out here now, because they don't have anything. Yeah, you hear like from them once or twice. Molly more so than anyone, but at the same time, it's like, also apparently they have a mom. In the Hallmark one, if the mom was there, I don't remember her, and she was maybe there for a few minutes. But in this book, it makes it seem like the mom is evil. The mom is like a manipulator, but also like she's heard that she got divorced and didn't divorce the dad first, pretty much. And the dad, he's selfish, but like he hurt those around him, but also he was abused too. So his thinking is not all right. But also I'm like, cops. So let's begin. I read off a script here that is on my computer, so we'll begin with that. Will and her 6-year-old son Scout are headed to Merida, Montana for a 3-week stay thanks to a patient of hers who sadly passed away. All paid expenses to the Bramble House B&B. And during Christmas time, so say no more. We're gonna have some fun here. Also, Scout has been cancer-free for 2 years now. Why Hallmark decided to change it from cancer to just heart issues boggles me, because you can't sugarcoat cancer. I get Christmas time, you don't want to be... It happens. It's real. Hallmark movies are just cookie-cutter romance type of shit. I understand. But if you want to connect more to your audience, you let them experience the real things, or real things that have happened to these people that your audience can say, yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah, I remember feeling like that. That was an awful time. But you know what? I got over it. I'm glad that those people did too. Especially during the holidays, I get a lot of people don't want to be thinking like, oh yeah, my family member has cancer or is gonna die, And I get that, but it's also like, you still gave a 6-year-old child, or in the movie, I think he's like 10? No, he's young, but I don't know how old he is. Like, you still gave him a heart condition where he still had to have surgery and nearly died. So Hallmark, pick and choose which one you want. You either get the kid cancer or you give him a heart issue. Which one do you want? Either way, this kid nearly died. And if you thought the Hallmark movie was bad, try having Finn Conrad, the son of the guy who gave Willa his 3-week paid vacation and a shit ton of cash. Yeah, he follows them all the way to the Bramble estate in a snowstorm, unlike the other one where he just looked like he was going to strangle her at every second, at every moment, because they did not know how to direct this man to be like, okay, Finn, you now are lovey-dovey. Try looking more happy with her. Not that happy, sir. No, not that happy. We do get a little kind of insight on this family. Mom's alive. It's been 2 years since she divorced his dad. Finn has 3 sisters with no relevance to the movie, really, except for, again, Molly. Like, Hallmark had 3 girl names and chose none of them. And Molly is also sort of just thrown out there to the wind. It's not even like a, hey, these are my sisters, da-da-da-da-da. It's more so like a, hey, this one's this one. Oh, yeah, and then, like, a chapter later, this one's this one. And then suddenly she's like, oh yeah, and then there's Molly. There's one of them, actually, that's like the troubled youngest child. Good luck trying to know more about her, because I wish we would have known more about her, but apparently you get to see her in another book, which even then, why? But also, if you're going to throw that at me, just say like, oh, she's the troubled one. And then move on. Why you gotta be like, oh, mom worries about her, the family worries about her, like, I wonder if I'm gonna see her for Christmas or, like, in a casket. And I'm like, motherfucker, stop doing that. You're supposed to be here in this time, trying to get your money and everything back. Why do you gotta make me be like, oh, I need to read, like, these other 5 stories before I come to this one, before I'm like, yeah, that younger sister, oh yeah, she's in the last one. We follow Finn for a bit as he's a children's illustrator. His father also was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, so cancer is going to be a prime topic here, folks. Oh, but at least he got a letter after his death. Unlike the movie one, he's still a dick, so we're just going to move on from that. So his dad left his 3 nurses money, $5,000 for 2 of them and $50,000 for Willa, and oh boy, does he just think his dad fell hard for this woman or was swindled because of it. Well, it does happen. Following this woman is not the way to get answers. Oh, and I forgot to mention Finn's dad left Willa a family heirloom ring, a 1-carat Montana sapphire. And just for a reference from what I found, a $1,000 ring, but that's not occurring that it's a family heirloom. So probably a shit ton more. The fellow seeing who Willa is was put in his head by his mom, who truly never got over the divorce. Needing to know if he had been swindled was all that they cared for, but Finn can't really see that now, but again, maybe that's her charm. So innocent she couldn't do no wrong. While out for hot cocoa, Finn and Willow talk about her patient, Mr. Conrad. He was sick and alone, never telling his family because he felt like a burden. I'm not going to make a joke about this because that happens more often than anything, and someone who's experienced it firsthand, yeah, I get why. I'm not gonna, like, try and sugarcoat it and be like, oh, you're selfish. It's a lot of them, again, in his case, have been emotionally abused. Don't think that they can do anything right anymore, especially leaving and trying to get out of that situation. But also, his children are adults, so it's like, what can you do? Anyway, this kind of breaks Finn's mind a bit, which I wonder how long from him coming here to his dad passing actually had passed over this, because it still seems like he's not over this. Also, since I don't know where to put this, Scout's dad is MIA, and you guessed it, because he can't deal with his child who had cancer.
He's an asshole.
Yes, abandon the 2-year-old and mother of your child and wife. Let her struggle to put the pieces together while you go live your life scot and medical bill free. Let the nurse who more than likely was working double, triples, and quadruples stay and worry while also taking care of your sick son while you go off playing in your band in South America or whatever. Yeah. Father of the year. At least the other guy, we could give him an excuse because, everything that's happened to him and what we learn later on. You, on the other hand, can suck dick. Finn and Willa get to know each other by the fire, talk about family, jobs, and just life itself. While talking to his sister, Molly, about everything, he says not to say anything about the ring because their mom will want it even if no one truly does. So guess who finds out about the ring? She doesn't come into play, so... Scout finds out that Finn is the illustrator for Everyday Sam, his favorite book series, and is invited to go sledding with him since he needs some inspiration. They agree to go and have a blast as Willow and Finn have a moment. But was it really? They go see a jeweler about the ring and figure it's related to the Brambles, and inside is the inspiration, Mabel, the grandmother of the house. AKA, for some reason, she's barely in this, but it's talked about like she's a ghost when she's very much alive. Also in the movie, she's there, and for some reason, her 2 kids are also working here. I don't know why the other 2 just kind of like showed up later on as like relatives. She still feels weird about the ring and says that if it's related back to the Bramble house, she'll give it back to them. I guess, but like, why? I just don't understand the point of all this talk about a ring, or if it was being given out, when you got 50 grand for Christ's sake. Also, if you sell that ring, you could pay off all of his medical bills. Like, I just don't understand. This ring suddenly is the talk, when really he was just like, oh, she got 50 grand, and then now it's just like, oh, I recognize this ring that my family didn't really want or care for. What's the point of having this ring besides just, oh, read the other series, because apparently there's like 4 others and a locket or something like that. I don't get it either. Willow and Finn talk again more about their family. Finn not really wanting kids, but does like them, especially with his family trauma, and Willow admits that her ex-husband is just kind of abandoning them, but sends them postcards.
Whoa. This is worthless.
It's less than worthless, my boy.
Willow meets Eliza, the daughter of Mabel and the owner of the Bramble house, and realizes the name Maybelle was her great-grandmother. Willow tells her to take it, but refuses since the ring was either sold, found, or passed down to another Bramble who married out of the name. His sister, Colleen, calls about a sudden suicide in the family and sort of gets them talking about DNA because she's a genetics expert.
Why do I even bother?
She says maybe Maybelle is related to them and his father, aka the child out of wedlock.
Huh?
Remember when this movie was suddenly about a woman who got 50 grand in a ring? Yeah, me neither. Because it just delves into just Finn having this severe, like, need to look into the family history, when in reality, take the ring out. Just take this ring out. It still would have been about them, like, her finding out that Finn is related to her old patient. Even then, tying these books together, I have to keep reiterating it because it doesn't make sense in the long run why you need to keep connecting these books if they cannot stand alone, and you have to make it known to me every 20 pages that they are connected. Then what's the point? Make a TV show then. Make a movie script if you want to do that 24/7. Because it's getting old really fast. I get it. Colleen is related to Molly, who's related to Eliza, who's related to Finn now. I understand. Please, stop doing this to me. Anyway, Finn asks if Eliza wants to do a DNA test to see if they're related and could get it by Christmas, to which she agrees. Scout gets sick and puts Willow on edge, rightfully so, but because Scout is 6 and kinda sick, he shouts that she would have allowed him to do things he would have wanted to after his cancer treatment, and none other than Finn finds out. Mind you, Scout wanted it to be a secret because people keep treating him differently after they find out. After a montage of snowball fights and movie watching, Willow tells him how they found out about Scott's cancer diagnosis and that Finn's dad left the money to help pay for the medical bills. One last good deed before he kicked the bucket. Sadly, she also tells him how Finn's dad died, saying he was just able to be so open with her, which led her to doing the same, and how she found out about his will, wondering what the other nurses truly thought about that, because they got $5,000 each, and she gets $50. I wonder if those two were like, oh yeah, my dad's son's dog uncle's nephew-in-law has cancer too. Pay up, sir. Like, truthfully, we don't ever hear their names, so it's one of those things where it's like, I wonder if they're like, oh, I actually got something from this man, I'm very grateful, or, hey, what the hell, did you swindle him too? But they're both like, all 3 of them? No, maybe it's just her, because Willow was like, under just like herself, just being a private doctor. I don't know about the other 2, so I cannot say. Also, who called these doctors? Was it him or was it the hospital? I don't know. That's never discussed either. Surrounded by warmth of the fire, they kiss. She pulls away after a while, saying she needs to go check up on Scout, as Finn realizes he must come clean about everything. Sage and Callan come over to visit Mabel, and find out that they know about the Montana Sapphire ring, and the two also drag Willa to have tea with them. Again, they know Finn's been hanging out with her, so, what's the plan here? Apparently jack all, because they're here to promote the other books in the series, and I'm gonna stop talking about that now, because we're almost finished, so shh. Christmas Eve goes without a hitch. Hell, there's even a wedding that day that everyone attends for some reason, as Santa wants Scout to help deliver toys to the hospital, and Finn decides to tell Willa right before they make love that Santa wants to do this. Could have said it earlier, but you know. Also, what if Scout has PTSD from being in the hospital for so long? Also, they're both drunk, so who's taking them? Well, Santa, of course. She agrees to let Scout go as the two lovebirds continue their rendezvous. It's stopped, though, as she realizes that Finn and Mr. Conrad are related. She's rightfully mad, but he admits he's embarrassed and fell for her. She leaves and goes back to her room, tossing the ring into a drawer, feeling used. Thankfully, Scott had fun as they wake up Christmas morning to gifts. Finn admits to his sisters that Willa isn't that person, and what he knows about the ring, and that he lied to Willa, who knows now who he is. This lets everyone know that he fell for her, as it turns out Eliza and them are cousins. Welcome to West Virginia. How can I help you? Scout and Willa leave to the airport as Finn arrives, thanking her for being with his father in his final moments, apologizing for not telling her the truth, and gives her the ring before asking her to come back to the Bramble house. She agrees as they kiss and live happily ever after. This is some stuff that I had thought about way after finishing the book. How come both men at the beginning were very, very creepy? Why was the ring so important besides marriage in all of this? Because again, it leads to nothing besides him saying, here's the ring back. Can you come back and we'll be together? Because apparently this is now my engagement ring to you, because he doesn't talk about, hey, I have another ring, or hey, just be with me. Also, they knew each other for 3 weeks before getting engaged, quote unquote. You got me, Buck. I guess 30-year-olds don't have time to play the dating game anymore. We gotta get married fast here. I honestly would have liked the ring to be more or less a symbol for Willa not being able to move on from her first husband. I digress, because at the end of the day, I guess it wouldn't have mattered, because in the Hallmark one, it's not talked about whatsoever. But then again, it still would have been well, I'm holding on to this because maybe he will come back. She also says that he never asks about Scout, and she never tells him that either, so it's like, they just kind of signed the divorce papers and that's it. Is he even paying child support? It's never talked about, but it's like, is he paying child support? Because you would have to go to like a court about that, especially because your son has cancer. And he's playing guitar or the drums. He's in a band. I don't remember which one. But still, this one was the shortest one to get through. But it's mostly, again, montages of them having fun, especially with Scout. And Willa kind of being really afraid to let him go, because when he was diagnosed, he was like 3.5, maybe 2.5, 3.5. And he's just now starting to build up some muscle, and he really wants to be like a hockey player too. But at the same time, it's one of those things where we do hear her say, like, there's a weird plot. It's not a plot, it's talked about, where she had, her parents had come to help her too with Scout, and her sister kind of has like a weird, like, not anger towards her, but more so like that she feels like she comes second because she just had a baby and she needs help. Mom goes one way, dad goes the other way, okay? Could help with that. But here's the thing too. Your sister has a kid with cancer. She and him cannot come over because they're in the hospital, and your baby is him and your baby are the most susceptible to all these germs right now too, especially because both have a weakened immune systems. I understand that. Could always FaceTime too. What year is this? Could always like FaceTime, Skype, Discord. 2015. You could still call each other too, but I get where she's coming from that. And again, I'm not saying she's the bad guy. And in that situation too, I probably would feel that too, but thankfully I'm not. But at the same time, it's one of those things that you have to understand that sometimes when you write stuff that's just to be put out here, you're going to make your character wonder more about that than your own plot. So Again, it's just boring. It's just boring. I don't know what I expected, really, because I watched the movie, and I really liked Willa and feared for her life because Finn he's so creepy. He's so creepy. To the point where it's like, should we keep calling the police? Should we just go? But anyway, so, car. Can you tell I'm reviewing this in October because I'm wearing tank tops? I'm trying to get ahead of the game here. Same with my other reviews, but you know. Speaking of which, you should probably go check out the other Christmas reviews I've done. I've done Coming Home for Christmas, The Goodbye Bride, The Gingerbread Romance, Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe, The 9 Lives of Christmas, and much more other book reviews that I have out there. Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. You should go check those ones out, because those ones are like my personal favorite at the moment to recommend. But also, maybe you like a movie review, you know? I've reviewed the Christmas books of all of them too. And maybe if you want, you could watch a horror movie or two. I really enjoyed that. What was it? Prom Night was really enjoyable for me to review, so you should go check that out. But again, come check me out and whatever else, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.